Well, students, as you know, this week we are winding down our course and already in week 6. I can't believe how quickly everything has gone by. But on that note, I would just like to share a few things with you. For week 6 module, originally when it was written, this course was written as a hybrid. There was an in-class assignment and presentation, but the assignment was as a group. But what I did is I changed everything to an individual assignment. So you don't have to any longer wrestle with the group thing. I know not meeting each other and, uh, and with 20 people in the course, uh, usually when you start group activities, it's at the beginning of the course. So, we're working on different ways for delivery, but we want to accomplish the same goals and objectives. And that's really important. So, what I wanted to share with you, quite frankly, is doing an outline. Look at my video about doing an outline for the final paper. Basically, it's your roadmap of the elements that I'm looking for in that paper. And then once you get into week 7, you can actually submit the paper. So the outline has merit. I mean, if you were in a group, you'd be submitting an outline as a group, and then you would be writing a paper. Probably groups would be Google Docs, and then uploading it, and then coming to class in the last week and doing a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm not doing that. This week, I just wanted to run by you that we're talking about organizational change. And, I have wrestled with dealing with change um, for years as an author and as a professor of leadership. Um, for years, I have been seriously trying to figure out what to do when we have organizational change, and whether that change is planned or not. In a lot of ways, it doesn't really matter. The idea is individuals don't usually like to come out of their comfort zones. They're afraid of change. Why? Because, like anyone else, they're afraid of failure. They know what works or what they think works, and then if you pull them out of that comfort zone and they have to change, they get very, very apprehensive. But it isn't more the apprehension rather, that I'm concerned with. It really is about losing focus on the need for the change. Change is inevitable. And sooner or later, whether we're supervisors or subordinates, whether we are at the strategic, tactical, or operational end of the business, we have to deal with change. But the idea is what we all know is that what we do share is that commonality of humanity. We are all connected somehow. And people have feelings, and feelings can be good or bad depending on the culture of an organization. If people know that change is going to bring them to a better place than where they were, then we have to give individuals that hope and that vision that it's going to work out, not just for you as the leader, but for them as the follower. Because eventually followers turn into leaders, and leaders turn into, and subordinates turn into other leaders, and so forth. And the legacy continues as it is built. How did companies like General Dynamics and Grumman and Boeing and Edison, if you will, and National Grid, and I know these companies have gone through evolutions, but the bottom line to the whole thing is that they've survived because strategically they knew that in their planning process, and many of these larger companies where they're 5, 7, 10 years out, they would have to give their culture a boost by adapting to accepted change. So when sometimes we need a transformational leader at the helm, but it isn't all about rah-rah stuff. It's about change that has meaning. So this paragraph, I mean, this there's a lot going on. I'm sure with everybody right now. Holiday season. I got students that are taking finals. It's crazy. But the thing is, in this particular module, that's what I was trying to say. You'll see some HBR videos that I think are pretty good about change. Um, and I want you to really reflect how change starts with you as a leader. You have to accept the change before you're able to get others to buy into it. You know, one thing about subordinates is they can see through fake stuff. They know if you mean it. If you just have to rah rah because your boss is telling you that this is good and you're going to sell it to your employees, that's not being a true leader. If you don't buy into it, there's reasons why. And you have to be able to figure out what you need to do to convince yourself that whatever change you're implementing will work. Because if you don't believe it, neither will your subordinates. Remember, I'll leave you with this thought. It isn't the locomotive that has all the power, it's the caboose. All right, Professor DeChico, figure that one out. And we'll see you soon in week 7. Just keep plugging at week 6.